Imagine the shock, pain, anger you'd feel if somebody close to you, someone you loved and trusted, committed a serious crime. News Center Sharon Rose Vasnes is here with an example of that type of collateral damage. She calls it Cat's story. Sharon?
Pat and Cindy, this particular story involves a young woman who's actually been an acquaintance of mine for many years. And I can tell you that she and those closest to her have been scarred by something they never saw coming. A beautiful Sunday in April, Catherine Lacasse and Jeremy Link practice a dance for their wedding day less than 3 weeks away. The social worker and the cheering and tumbling coach, the mom and dad of a beautiful little girl, moving in step to their happily ever after.
Like, this is all how it was meant to be. Like, it felt very serendipitous and like right.
He was the one.
Yeah. I thought so.
Just 6 days later, that happily ever after turned into hell on earth.
It's almost hard to remember in some ways because it was just like such a daze.
Is accused of sexually abusing a minor.
I couldn't control anything that was happening.
Sexual relations with a 14-year-old girl.
I wanted nothing more than for this to be a lie or a misunderstanding.
But as more details came to light,
the victim told them she and Link were romantically involved.
Catherine says it became clear the man she loved, the father of her child, had deceived and betrayed her.
It just felt like my world came crashing like it didn't explode. It felt like it was like imploding. Like everything became so much smaller and darker and scarier, and I just couldn't breathe.
Catherine's friends and family quickly rallied around her, making arrangements to cancel the wedding, taking turns staying with her and little Molly, and showering them with small acts of kindness.
They would do things like bring me a coffee or pack me a lunch. And then one of my friends even went so far as to like leave me an inspirational card for each morning through the entire month.
But even with all that love and support, Catherine says it took all she had just to get through the days.
Never knew that I could be so profoundly sad. Yeah, just really sad.
Not just for herself, but for her 2-year-old daughter as well.
She kept on going to the window and looking for him and just saying, "Daddy." And so I, again, would just like hold her face and look at her in the eye, and I just said, "Daddy made some poor decisions, so he can't be here right now."
Putting on a brave face for her little girl, while inside dealing with crushing grief and self-doubt.
Just like having a background in psychology, I really beat myself up initially for like, how could I have not known? I carried a lot of guilt. I was really angry with myself, like how could I have not known?
This is a more common story than I ever imagined.
Lee Mackenzie can certainly relate. She married a con artist named Kenner Jones and went on to write a book about her experience titled The Charming Predator. She says people like her ex-husband are master manipulators.
Oh yes, I can look back at the trail of breadcrumbs and it's clear. But at the time, when it's a crumb at a time, it's easy to push it aside, go, you know what, maybe I'm making this up. Maybe I'm looking for things that aren't there. A person who loves you would never do this to you. I must be misunderstanding.
In the 6 months since Jeremy's arrest, Catherine has finally stopped blaming herself and has even learned to let go of the nagging question, why?
The best I can come up with is that I won't get it because like I'm not sick, and like, so how could I ever understand it?
Jeremy Link is now serving a 22-month prison sentence. Catherine continues to move forward with her baby girl. In fact, as much as this is a story of shock and pain, it's also a story of hope and healing. And we're going to take a closer look at that part tomorrow. Also, be sure to visit our website for our full interview with Lee Mackenzie, more on Catherine's story, and a link to her blogs. And right after our newscast, we are going to be on Facebook Live with 2 trauma specialists to talk about how a person recovers from something like this or any type of trauma, big or small. Pat and Cindy.
Thank you,
So
Sharon.
interesting. Thanks.